Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship for StarCraft 2. We are, yeah, you can cheer, that's fine. We are just halfway through our quarterfinal. 2 done, 2 to go. Our next match is a battle of the champions. Yet again, it's almost like it's a Champions Day. First up to the stage, a man who is a former GSL champion. He hasn't seen the winner's circle for a number of years, though, but he's bidding to turn back the time and the tide. Please welcome my insanity, Jjakji. And he goes head-to-head with a man who doesn't really need an introduction. He is the reigning world champion from BlizzCon. Please welcome Jin Green Wings, sOs! And with the players in place, let's find out exactly what the predictions are from our analyst desk.
Thank you, Paul. Quick correction, though, it's not sOs that is your BlizzCon World Champion. It is, in fact, Deer. I checked with myself earlier.
Okay, in control. You and Autosis.
That joke has ran its course.
I know.
Let's talk about these guys. sOs, Jjakji, both of these players, very, very good, obviously. sOs, again, winning that BlizzCon, the biggest of tournaments last year. He was kind of red hot at the time. He wasn't winning necessarily everything, but I remember he was in and around the finals of almost every tournament the last 3 or 4 months there.
Yeah, he had a wonky year really in 2013. He started really strong because he went to the finals against Innovation in Season 1, and then he dipped down a lot in Season 2 and Season 3, but rose up again towards BlizzCon as we had that championship for him.
I think that makes sense. That's kind of his play style. He's one of those players that will take risks, which is awesome. It's going to win him tournaments like BlizzCon, but it can also lose him tournaments pretty quick because he can just hit that brick wall.
Yeah.
Now, is Jjakji that wall, Claris?
I think that whilst we thought that Jjakji would have a hard time against Revival yesterday and it was a really good series for him there, I think this one's going to be way harder. Whilst sOs's results in the matchup kind of fluctuate, if you look at BlizzCon, like 3-1 against Bomber and Pol, then he went to DreamHack Winter where he lost to Innovation and Tasia, but then in Pro League recently he's been doing all right against Terrans. There's still that fluctuation, but I think that sOs is here. He's here for keeps, man. I think so.
So you're picking sOs then. Apollo, talk to me about these maps so far. We actually had Heavy Rain eliminated by the Protoss player. I thought that was very interesting. And then Daedalus Point, of course, from Jjakji.
Daedalus Point, no one really likes that map. Let's just cut to the chase.
Yeah, nobody likes it.
Heavy Rain's an interesting movement there from sOs. But then again, I guess you can't blame it. An aggressive Terran player like Jjakji.
Sure.
Trying to take a third base there, you're going to get dropped in the main, you're going to get dropped to the natural. It's not that far away from each other. I guess it makes sense.
As you say that, though, Polar Knight, first map to be played here, it's the same thing, if not worse.
Yeah.
I do like seeing Alter Zim Stronghold in there, of course. It's going to give us a good shot at a big macro game. Both these players shaking hands. That's the maps. Did any of the selections, no, probably pretty straightforward. Anyone have anything to say about it, I guess?
No, maps are fine here.
Yeah, I'm liking that the mid of this series is going to be on the bigger maps like Altazim and Frost, where we'll really see these guys test each other's metal. And as you mentioned, Altazim Stronghold. I'm actually really warming to Altazim Stronghold as of late. Some people really don't like it, but I like it.
What do you like about it?
Just like the big long macro games that come out from it. It's really nice to watch.
I can't help but agree with you, and it's like it's a super observer / like caster thing to say. Like, we if we could, we'd have these guys play 2.5-hour games of just nonstop bloody knuckle action, and then they of course would hate us for it if we had some kind of wish that way. Yeah, and Ultram has a good chance of that. So our first player up to give a little bit of a talk about is that Jjakji. He's been a little bit more a part of the European scene, kind of interestingly enough, for a while now. I think back to Take's Home Story Cup, which I believe was even in this Christmas season. It was a few months ago. But that's where I started to see him really come through. He's been known as a little bit of a TVP sniper in the past. Of course, I think back to Jjakji versus Lenok as one of the best TVZs, of all time that I've ever seen. Tell me about this player, Paul.
Jjakji, he won his GSL Championship 2011, was a consistent Code S player, very consistent, was in Code S, season in, season out. But then just something happened. I don't know if it was because it was the end of Wings of Liberty where Terrans were struggling. He just dropped off the map, dropped out of Code A, was gone. And I even felt like we probably wouldn't even going to see him again. But then he rejoined My Insanity, or joined My Insanity, moved to Europe, and he's back. And he's playing better than ever, I'd like to say. He's playing really, really good. He's getting results on the board. He's looking to conquer Europe in the World Championship Series, playing in that region now. And he's so good versus Protoss. He's destroying Protoss players in Europe.
Answer for his crimes. Why is it that when this guy moves away from Korea, the best place to practice, the best place to play, that we all of a sudden see a spike in his results and he's doing better?
I guess the stomps on the ladder give him more time. Is that'll be answer enough, I think.
It's the Swiss food he has. It powers him up like spinach.
We don't have the answer, obviously, but it's interesting. It really is. We talk about Violet, we talk about Polt. These are people that moved away from Korea and actually enjoyed better success with their careers. Of course, Polt would be the worst example there because he did win the global championship, that one-off tournament that they did while being in Korea, but still, his results have actually gotten better, I would argue, post that. But these guys, they move away, they take a little bit of a break, they're a little bit more calm, I like to imagine, or perhaps they're able to focus on the game better without being in the lion's den, so to speak, that is Korea. I mean, you're fighting tooth and nail with other people that are as good or better than you right and left.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. So Jjakji, SOS guys, what are your predictions, Apollo?
I can't remember what I said earlier. I think I said SOS, but I could have written Jjakji down. It's very, very close to me. That's why I can't really remember what I said. The reasons why is Jjakji is a solid player, very aggressive, very fast, very drop heavy, and will make you dizzy, basically. But SOS is a very different stylistic Protoss player, which is going to make him a lot more difficult to play against for a solid player, because you don't really know what to expect out of SOS. It can be fast third bases, it can be fast one base blink, it can be DT builds, it can be anything. So, I think that pushed me in favor of SOS. But I can't
Polaris, I'm going to give you the double challenge. While we're talking about SOS, I want you to both sneak in your prediction, but also tell me about SOS.
I mean, SOS, as I said before, there's those peaks and troughs in his performance. Yeah. And I think he's at one of those peaks right now. After going through Pyong and Reality and Pro League, I think he's probably going to be able to take this series. Jjakji, again, he had a tough time yesterday, was able to battle on through it, but SOS, he plays on a properly fierce region and is able to come out on top more times than not. So I think SOS is at one of those peaks.
All right, here's my super pessimistic spoiler alert for the entire viewing audience. SOS will go Chargelet Archon Storm every single game, or he'll go something into Chargelet Archon Storm every single game.
Even with the Widowmine change recently, which has pushed that style back.
Yes.
All right.
He's a robot.
He's a robot.
He's programmed to win IEM for $100,000 so he can get that next upgrade. He's going to get the next Intel chip implanted into his brain and become superhuman again. Okay. Again, that was the pessimistic TLDR.
Yeah.
That's not exactly what he's going to do. We'll see. But he does that a lot. But part of what I like about him, and I've heard you guys touch on this, is that despite what I just said, he is one of those guys that across all three matchups doesn't just have the one or two builds. He likes to shake things up. Yeah. So even as I say, he goes Chargelet Storm Archon every single game, there is that asterisk where he will do something before that. He will go Oracle. He'll skip in a proxy gate. He will take those risks, and I find him to be super exciting for that reason.
Yeah. And I think that it really depends on how well he plays today. I guess you can say it in any kind of scenario, but that play can be make or break, because either you outplay and smash your opponent, or you just hit a brick wall and you cannot stop and get past his defense. So it's in that sense, I really think it's going to be a one-sided series, but in which way it's hard to call.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Jjakji's defense is normally pretty airtight. He's able to scout out pretty well, get his engineering bay down at the right time, get those missile turrets up properly. So, you know, if SOS does pull out something like this, but Jjakji's well documented as well. We see a lot of him play. So I imagine SOS hasn't come into this completely blind. He has to have looked at what he's going to be going up against.
And it's funny to note that, you know, these players, you know, didn't win or enter a big Intel Masters or do well in Intel Masters. SOS is invited because he's a BlizzCon champion, like Teju was DreamHack Winter champion, and Jjakji was an online qualifier, which is quite interesting considering we're this deep in the tournament.
Oftentimes, those online qualifiers those are the battlers, man. Those online tournaments are tough, especially that Korean region. A lot of times the guys that come out of there, as I say that though, I think it's Rogue and Jjakji that qualified online, and Stardust. So two of the three are out, and who knows how Jjakji's gonna do here. I think he is the underdog. Speaking of underdog, if you are at home and you're like, my God, I wish there was a way I could write predictions and then see how they turn out. Well, that part's the easy part. That happens all the time. Go to facebook.com/IEM and predict with us. Be a part of the community and take a stab at putting your vote out there. If we can, Let's see how there it is. Jjakji,
Wow,
48%, SOS 52.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I like this.
That bar looks wrong.
the bar looks wrong, but the stats look great.
Yeah,
The
stats
bar
still
is
look good.
super wrong. My
Yeah.
God.
But the stats are great there. And
An
I
ESL
really
sound
think
guy turned out for the graphics here at ESL. Get
But
a job,
I like
sir.
that. I like that being close. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's about
too.
right. Let's take a look at the commentators. Let's see where we went. We did get Artosis to do the one wrong vote last round, which is incredible.
What score are you on, by the way, Jeff?
I am 8-1 or 9-1. I'm doing really well, so that's the community.
Hey,
There's the bars fixed.
Bars fixed.
Bars fixed.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. They fixed the bar. All right.
Excellent. That looks great now.
Go
does,
ahead
that really
and
does.
pull up the commentators now.
I reckon In Control's messed up.
Let's see.
Whoa.
No. Everybody picked SOS.
Hey!
Todd,
Wait a minute.
Todd, how did you pick SOS?
You've given up your winning strategy. Well,
Todd.
winning.
Todd!
Look at me. All right. You know what? That's such a Protoss thing to do. His strategy wasn't working. Throws down the Dark Shrine late game. Throws it down. Screw it.
Todd is like one prediction right and what, 7 or 8 wrong. He's like, all right, I have
He's up to 2 now. If he continues,
he's got 2?
Artosis got the last round
yeah.
wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Todd's up to 2 now.
Good job, Todd.
But he's going to catch up to Artosis. Well, not this round, I guess, because we all picked SOS one way or another. But all right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Full confidence in Jjakji.
I think they're having a little bit of tech difficulty, so I get to spend more time with you lovely gentlemen.
Yes!
Let's do this. Who's been the best commentator this tournament so far?
You.
Thank you. I thought so as well.
Yeah,
You as well, Jeff.
No,
yeah.
thank you, Claire. So unanimous there.
Artosis is probably near the bottom again.
Yeah, towards the bottom. Yeah,
He did good yesterday.
he's done all right.
He did okay yesterday.
Went with the purple tie though. I don't know what he's trying to do. You know what I mean?
I said it's probably a borrowed tie from Tasteless.
Is it?
You can't keep pushing it. It's
Did you
not
borrow
coming
it?
in.
Did you borrow
Yeah,
it,
no.
Dad?
We're just killing time. You want to come up here and join us? Minsick is on the case.
I'm surprised that it's a clean sweep for SOS though, with everyone. I at least expected at least one person, whether it be Todd or
I actually
Artosis.
think the community got it better than we did. I think it is closer to 48 versus 52.
yeah.
Jjakji, again, going back to Home Story Cup, I know that, well, I thought he played a Korean Protoss there as well. Might have been Hero, but his TVP looked disgustingly good.
It's
It looked really strong.
It's really good. Qualifying for WCS, qualifying for coming here, he's played a lot of Protoss players and he's looked really good.
Yeah.
Like he's a player that usually goes up to 5 barracks. He's usually putting on a lot of pressure. Haven't seen it recently after the Widowmine change, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some of that come in today because that plays to his aggressive nature. And overall, just really doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't really get supply blocked. He doesn't miss SCVs. He's always got his buildings on time. And he does drop in multiple locations at the same time as well. So
I think you hit the nail on the head there at the end. For me, it's his aggression that sets him apart. Like he obviously has very strong macro, and he's a top-tier Korean Terran. He's going to have that. But his multitasking, it's very Pult-esque. He has his army divided up in 2 or 3 different places, and he hits really hard. He's really good.
And I think an important factor is he's confident in this matchup because of his results.
Yeah. I think there's also that moment of, I think you mentioned it yesterday when we were watching Jjakji play, he's really tip-top. He really is right up there, but there's none of that special spark. He's just straight to the standard, straight to the macro, and then hitting it hard.
I mean, if you look at the difference between the two players, you've got Jjakji, who's great and solid, and you've got SOS, who's a winner. And that's the difference, you know, because like I said yesterday, Jjakji just misses that spark for me. As a Terran player, he's great. I think he's one of the best. But there's a spark missing that separates him from being good and being top.
It's super interesting. It's like him and Sniper that are competing for the title of being the most forgetful GSL champion ever. And it's weird because I don't say that as I'm some weird anti-Jjakji fan. I think both he and Sniper are amazing players, but for some reason they hit it and quit it so hard they just got out of that scene afterward. It was like you just didn't see from them again. And again, we were talking about this earlier. It's like Jjakji only reappeared when he joined Mayan Sandy and moved to Europe, which I think is really cool. I think that's awesome.
They've done that for Stardust as well. It's really, Mayan Sandy's been doing really well.
They got a great farm system over there. They recycle these Korean these Korean players and turn them into awesome players.
Well, it's got to the point where Mayan Sanity now has become one of my favorite European teams, but purely based off the fact that those two are really doing so well for them. They picked up these guys, not exactly when they were on their peak performance or anything like that, and cultivated their skills brilliantly.
But I mean, we talked a lot about Jjakji, but if we look at SOS, we haven't really got to see him play yet because he played in the off-stream against Oz. We haven't really seen what he's capable of. Do you think he brings something a little bit special, or do you expect him to play his more favored Zealot Charge Archon style?
I think he falls back on that. I think Artosis made a comment earlier that I really liked, and that is that a lot of times with Korean Terrans, if they feel like they're the better player, if they're going to outplay somebody, they'll go Reaper. I feel like for SOS, that version of that is going to be his bread and butter, the Charge Light Archon Storm. I feel like a lot of times when he feels like he's equal or better than his opponent, he's just going to do with what he knows works.
Yeah.
The only time you see that SOS magic come out where weird crap starts flying around, that's when he thinks that perhaps he's as good or perhaps worse. And that still makes him super dangerous.
That was at his peak, though, right? Like, when he was at BlizzCon, that was where he was just doing so well. Really weird strategy coming out from SOS, but then really executing them so well and putting his opponent off.
SOS pretty much at BlizzCon, every single game I think he played against Terran was opening up Oracle straight to Twilight Council, right? I'm pretty sure.
Back when Oracles were those were the bee's knees, man.
Yeah. We'll see if he does that now. But I think, even though I do agree with you that he, most likely will play that style, even though I think it could be very dangerous for him in this game against Jjakji, I feel that there's going to be something that he's going to bring to the table today. I think he's going to switch it up a little bit. Okay. I don't think he'll play the same every single game. Maybe have the same core, which will be that.
Best of 5 opens up that possibility much more so, I would say.
Yeah, and he's a very intelligent player. He made his name through his innovation and his creativity, right?
Mm-hmm. We've seen proxy oracles. We've seen even a proxy singular gate fast stalker. I like that build a lot.
Yeah.
We have seen the double gateway stalker. It's a little bit more of an investment and a little bit less, higher risk.
I think the proxy oracle thing is something that, for me, it really sticks in my mind for someone like SOS.
Sure.
If he's going to do something like that, I won't be surprised if we saw it at least once in this series. As long as he feels comfortable. If he goes in and goes down a game or two, then he's probably not going to end up busting it out when everything's on the line. But from there on out, I think he could. So.
Well, guys, I've been told we're just a minute and a half or so away from starting this game. While we have your attention, though, we've talked this match to death, and that's always a pleasure. You guys are super knowledgeable, and Artosis. He's trying. He's trying as best as he can. I do want to remind you guys, give a follow to IEM on Twitter. Check them out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/IEM. You can make predictions there as well. And they do have a YouTube. Most recently, they uploaded a video of Red Eye taking a selfie with the audience. So if you're into
great video to watch.
If you're just sitting around and you're like, God, I want to see a really weird, dumb video right this second, ESL and IEM, they've got it for you. They got it in spades.
Yeah, youtube.com/ESLTV.
Claris, what has been your most memorable moment right now?
Right now, or of the tournament so far? I guess of the tournament so far.
The tournament so far?
Yeah, definitely the first series for me from yesterday. To start the tournament off like that with Hero being so, so fantastic in his performance, that was really cool. And then doing it again today, if he does it another time, I don't know.
You don't know what to do? You'll have to get new trousers, that's for damn sure.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Enough about us at the expert desk. Let's turn it over to the almost experts, Artosis and Todd.
Thank you so much, guys. Some really just fantastic analysis on these two players.
No sarcasm at all.
They were saying, they think this might be very one-sided. And you know what? We were looking up some stats, and Jjakji has 3-0'd a lot of great Protoss players, hasn't he, Todd?
Yeah. Well, actually, just going back to Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, he beat Deer twice, but he lost to Rain and Patience. So that was just an average result, but yeah, he's 3-0'd Elfie, Majestic, Mana, Wellmu, Hearthstone, Stardust recently.
These are some of the best Protosses in all of Europe.
He's also won in the Go for SC2 Cup Europe 349. He's won 2-1 against a very strong French Protoss player named Todd. So that
only
guy
2-1.
Yeah,
only 2-1. So you had a close match against Jjakji.
I had a 6 gates.
6 gate is a very skilled build to use for certain.
Yes.
You have to make sure that you don't get supply capped, and then you have to attack your opponent, and that can be hard sometimes.
I was supply capped for some time, but
were you?
Yeah, it's okay though. I'm proud of it.
That just goes to show your skill. All right, looks like it's about time to get in here. That was a compliment, Todd. It is time for Jjakji against SOS, or SOS as some people call him. Up here in the top of Polar Night, it is Jjakji. And in the bottom, it is SOS.
And I'm gonna have to stop you right there with Jjakji. His nickname is actually Jackie.
Jackie.
We had MVP, the German Jürgen.
Yeah.
MC, the Frenchie, Jean-Michel. His name is
Jean-Michel.
Jean-Michel, man.
Yeah.
This is so close.
Yeah.
And Jjakji is actually Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie.
Isn't Jackie a girl's name?
Jackie, no,
Not in France.
with an I and E, with a Y at the end. That's for girls, you think?
I don't know. I feel like if I knew any Jackies, they would be girls. And nothing is more manly than Jjakji's Terran versus Protoss, so.
Yeah. Going up against SOS here, In Control actually predicted Chargelot Archons, or Chargelot Templars, which I'm gonna go as far as saying as if SOS does that in at least half of the games that he plays here against Jjakji, and he wins, I'm gonna purchase 1 hour coaching with In Control, no matter what the price. I think it's what, 150 or something ridiculous. I'm still gonna buy it. That's how far I'm gonna go.
Wow. So if he goes for that 3 times in this series, Chargelot Archon openings, you are going to get coached by In Control.
Yes, and he wins.
And he wins.
Because he said he was gonna win.
Okay. All right. We'll see how that goes.
We had a very fast gateway, by the way, so might be some kind of Mothership Core rush here for SOS who want to scout as soon as possible what's up and maybe try and catch some kind of Reaper opener of guard to kill some SCVs. We've seen that last series as well.
We definitely have seen people rush to that Mothership Core, and in fact, he is chrono boosting out immediately here. Whereas in the meantime, it looks like Jjakji, well, he is mining some gas and hasn't started any sort of Reaper here.
And
but it doesn't look like he's going to either.
Oh, he's going for a reactor after 2 Marines, and he still mined a little bit more than 50 gas. This is not your standard Terran versus Protoss opener here. He's going for a command center. I wonder how this is gonna go. You need 3 Marines to make sure you're in a decent position to take care of that Mothership Core, and now the reactor is halfway through done. So when that Mothership Core gets into the main of Jjakji here, he should be pretty close to getting 2 extra Marines. Actually, whoa, that thing is fast.
Yeah, Mothership
the Marines are completely out of position. Sorry.
They are, but one actually is running back right now. In fact, both are. So it looks like they were just there to stop probes at the moment, but here we go. They're actually going to go right up into this main base, and should be enough to slow this guy down until 2 more pop out.
He's gonna get the first one, gonna get the second one as well, probably. And as I said, you need 3 Marines.
Yes.
To fight, you need 3 Marines.
This is only 1 Marine over here, so definitely not 3 quite yet. It's like 2 more are gonna come down and finally chase this out. But you know what? At least he's gained a little bit of information.
To the safe zone. You can't see me. It's like an Overlord Mothership Core. He just stays here the entire game, like it never gets spotted.
Every now and then it just time warps the SCVs mining gas.
And it's weird. We had an SCV on the right hand side. Oh, it's actually going to get picked off. Saw a probe there. So I guess he knows maybe something was going to be proxied. And
well, you know what? This Mothership Core has done pretty well so far, and in fact, going to catch an SCV now.
How is Jjakji going to scout? Except without a scan?
Well, he's not going to scout, and unfortunately for him, we actually have that Twilight just about to finish, and he's going for the same type of build that we saw from Pult, which is a very quick Widow Mine in Starport. Yeah, do you think he's going to be able to hold this?
On this map, if it's going to be hard. The thing is, I do think that SOS is going to need detection, especially with those Widow Mines. If they start splashing those Stalkers, they're going to lose a lot of hit points, the shield as well, and it's going to be hard. I haven't seen this working yet without detection. And SOS...
The blink build.
Yes, the blink build without detection.
Okay.
So it's gonna be tough for SOS to make it work, but I mean you never know. After the games that I've seen from Hero, I'm afraid to make predictions. That's where we're at.
That is so true. He has just been so phenomenal and really making some upsets.
Look what he's doing. We've seen this before. He's gonna take out these what are they called? Ice rocks or something, and he's gonna go through to there. Maybe hoping there is some kind of double bunker at the front, which would be completely useless in this case. It's for Jjakji to realize this early enough. Does he see it? He might be able to
he does. He's actually starting a bunker already, and he's already scouted a pylon on the side and saw Stalkers warping in. So Jjakji is pretty sure he knows exactly what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, he's getting a tank. Oh, I really like that. This is so cool.
Well, getting siege tank is awesome against this. 2
or 3 tanks, not committing too much. Is really, really nice here. But keep in mind, he's not going to have Steam Pack. He's not going to have Combat Shield. He has Medivac and Marines, but how much do they do against Stalkers? Not too much. Oh, is he going to blink up? Yes, he is.
Oh, very cute move here. Blinking up behind the minerals. Going to pick off quite a few SCVs. Now the Marines are moving forward. A nice time warp does in fact go down, but he's going to be able to micro very easily against this.
He's got 7 SCVs already in this game in total. 7 walkers ahead. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
The math for once.
The math works out right there. He's up 9 miners right now after those 7 kills. And we'll go back to work on these rocks. But with that siege tank there, I don't foresee him actually killing off Jjakji.
Yeah, I don't think he should commit anymore. He's just basically faking more aggression. Might blink into natural. Oh, wow. A little bit surprising here. He had to know there could have been a tank. He's going to stay out of the range. And I like how he's made a cannon in his mineral line back at home, by the way. There could be a Widow Mine drop. He knows there are backs. He knows there are Widow Mines.
That's very smart. None in the main base, as we can see there, but you know what? I think this is okay.
By the way, still no Robo, and he's getting armor upgrades. Come on, man. I don't want to get coaching, really get coaching from In Control.
Well, maybe he could teach you something about Charge Lot Archon and how strong it can be against the new buffed Widow Mine.
You will probably insists on streaming it too. Oh, big blink here.
Oh, he blinks in, and there are 2 siege tanks. He's going to go ahead and pick those off in a matter of seconds, and he's going to be able to go ahead and kill off this medevac, as well as all these Marines and probably all the SCVs as well.
Wow, he's killing so many SCVs here. I really thought that without detection this wasn't going to work, but he always goes where there is no Widow Mines.
Well, he's very good at that, obviously, and Jjakji in a lot of trouble here. What does Jjakji even... I mean, it doesn't even look like he has any shot here. 25 workers killed.
Army supply 9 to 18.
It's 50 probes against 21 SCVs at the moment. This is... he can almost just rally his probes over to kill him. And GG.
Thank you, SOS, for killing him before going for the charge in Tampa. This does not count as a game.
We don't know for a fact that he was going for that.
Yeah, but he didn't do it.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so this doesn't count as a game.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Okay,
doesn't
I thought you were saying it counts because we don't know. He could have done it.
Yeah, I wonder if In Control is going to buy an hour of coaching from you.
No, he didn't say it. I'm the one who kind of called him out here.
Okay. Well, Jjakji, a little bit unhappy with that one. But you know what? This is something that can happen.
Yeah. And these two actually played a while back.
A long time ago.
In 2012. SOS had been playing the game for about 5 days. This was actually very early when the Caspa players switched over.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
At the beginning of WCS Korea, these guys, in 2012, this is when there was just like these big qualifiers everywhere. These two actually ended up playing against each other.
This was in Code A. You didn't cast that, I guess, because you're that Code S elitist guy.
Yeah, no, I don't cast Code A. That's where nerds go to die.
And in this case, it was actually Jjakji that died. Even though he was the previous GSL winner, he lost to SOS.
Well, SOS has been a very good player for a very long time, to be honest.
From the start.
He was one of my very favorite Protosses right when the Kespa players switched over to StarCraft 2. So not too surprised to see that result once again.
Would you agree that SOS and DIR, they're very similar in a way that they basically were like super good for a while and then they kind of started playing a lot worse? And now it feels like they're coming back much stronger.
I do agree with that completely. And they're both kind of innovative Protosses as well. Definitely 2 of the top in the world at the moment. And in fact, SOS has been looking near unstoppable everywhere. He just looked so fantastic. So our next map going to be Alterzim Stronghold. What do you think about this map, PVT, Todd?
It's a really weird map. I really feel like from one Terran to another or Protoss player, everybody either love it or they hate it. And we've had Protosses removing it, Terrans removing it, and now nobody has removed it this time. This is a map where we can see longer games, where Medivac drops are going to be very, very good. And if you were to play Blink and Colossus, it's actually going to be much harder than other maps to defend because of that gap, you know, between the third base and the natural.
That's true.
So we could actually see Charge Lot Templars.
We could see Charge Lot Templar Archon. Well, from Jjakji, or rather, I'm sorry, from SOS, do you think there's any possibility we'll see a Phoenix opening? Because I don't mind those on this map. I actually quite like them.
But I think it's really hit or miss if you go for Phoenixes, because if you are up against the command center first, you're quite far behind, which on this map again is quite good.
That is true. Well, looks like we're going to go ahead and get this game started. Up in the top left of Alterzim Stronghold, it is My Insanity's Jjakji. And in the bottom right of Alterzim, Make some noise for SOS.
What is SOS going to have in store for us this game? Do you think there's any chance we could see something like a very, very quick Nexus after, like, say, a gateway, a gas, which he wouldn't mind from?
Yeah, with one pylon, it's a good opener for this map. I do like builds like that, or even, you know, like a 16 gate Nexus. That's kind of an older build, but you know, a little bit safer way to get out a super fast Nexus. And I think both of those are fine.
I like how you said, how you use the word good, because every time I do this on ladder, Reaper comes in and kills like 6 probes.
Well, you're playing on European ladder, and this is a little bit different.
It's funny, there is a lot of mind games going to this, because Jjakji, as I said, he could have gone for a command center first, but he's playing against a guy who's unpredictable, super aggressive, and who opened with a very quick Mothership core in the first game. So as much as on this map, I don't think it will be good. I think he was a little bit afraid of aggression, maybe, so he's going for the standard Reaper. And
it does look like that, but he opened like this last game. This could just be a reactor expand, as funny as that would be. Double gas.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be Blink Stalker?
On this map,
possibly an Oracle?
Man, I don't want to predict anymore. Let's just not hurt ourselves here.
Okay, let's just say what we see on the screen.
I said it wasn't going to work without Widow Mines, and then it worked.
Yeah, well, that's okay. There's another way to commentate. We'll see what we see on the screen. Okay, here's an SCV. He's walking south. I don't want to guess where he's going.
I hate you, Arthos.
Now, this is the direction he's walking in, it looks like, the bottom left. No, it's not as fun. I think that SCV is going to go try to find where the Protoss is, pretty sure.
Yeah, Jjakji is going to be a Reaper, and he stopped mining gas behind this, so not going to go for a quick factory behind his command center and his reactor. Just going to play it in the most standard way you could. Do you think he goes into additional barracks, Paul style? But if I was Terran,
like just I would
look at who wins versus Protoss right now. There is one guy that really stands out. I guess Maru's doing...
Yeah, Maru's doing very well, but other than that, the guy that's here.
Yeah, Pulse. Yes. And I'm actually surprised that they don't try to emulate his style as much as, for example, Protos's. When a Protoss is winning, have you...
Yeah, everyone copies it. It's hilarious. But
at least one more barracks will be made, and he started mining gas behind this. Do you think he could stay on 2 barracks, I guess, for some time?
Yeah, I suppose he could. We'll see what he ends up doing here. We do have that probe continuing to scout. Of course, this Nexus just slightly behind the command center of Jjakji.
Oh, Stargate before he gets the Stalker, so I guess that Reaper is going to be able to see that most likely.
Yeah, it does look like it. The Reaper going to go ahead and hop right in. Should be going to the natural, I would say. Might check this pylon over here first after trying to kill this probe. A little bit of a misclick there, actually. He shot the Nexus once instead of the probe the one extra time he needed. Yeah, there's no point to even try that. You never actually catch the Reaper.
Hey, sometimes you do.
No.
In Bronze Leagues.
Yeah, in Bronze Leagues. I have never caught the Reaper, though. I can have a full surround and the Reaper jumps over them. It's ridiculous. But the Reaper actually ends up getting 2 kills here. You know it's true.
The Arthos is surround, we're going to call it.
Oh, is that it? Missing 1 probe. All right, so an Oracle is on the way. You know, one thing that I really like about SOS's play on this map, because I've seen him play quite a few PVZs here.
Yeah.
And he's very good at straddling the line, you know, the line between being safe and being greedy.
Yeah.
And he likes to keep on a little bit of pressure, stay as greedy as possible without leaving himself completely open. And if he can continue to do that against Jjakji, I think he's going to be in a good spot.
But one thing I have to come back to again, In Control mentioned that SOS is that guy who used to open a whole bunch with Oracles to go into Charge Lot Templars.
That's true.
But Apollo answered that perfectly, but he said what I was thinking. With the Widow Mine change, how viable is it to play with that old school style, I guess you could call it, that Protoss used to go for almost every single time versus Terran at some point?
I think it has to be a very specific map that you do that on now. I think that you have to have a third base where you can really make a small choke point and perhaps even end up using a couple cannons. And I don't think that this is the map for that. I kind of doubt that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, he gets a robo behind it, so could be going for Colossus instead. And Jjakji has stayed on 2 barracks. Like, this feels a little bit weird. He's going to have faster tech to Medivacs, but he doesn't have that many units. Like,
this is one of the oldest builds that there is, actually. Think back. You've seen this, Todd. You've seen this a lot of times, but it was over a year ago that you last saw this build. the 2 racks, getting the stim, going straight up into the medevacs. This is anachronistic from Jjakji. This is something he used to do a long time ago.
Oh, how well do you think it's gonna do against that quick third in Robotics Bay?
Well, you know, I think that this build hasn't come back yet for a reason. There's this floating unit called the Mothership Core, and it puts down a Nexus cannon, and that small amount of units, I don't know if it's going to be able to do enough harassment, to be honest.
Have you heard about those units called Medivacs?
They're pretty quick.
They boost units to another base where there is no photon overcharge.
That's true, but they heal as well, don't they? It's kind of crazy.
On this map, I really feel like the biggest difficulty is defending that natural from drops and that gap from the third base and natural. It's gonna make it so hard. I remember there was a game. What? Second Stargate, he's gonna go Phoenix Colossus. Sick city.
This is sick city indeed.
This is pretty cool.
Phoenix Colossus is something we do not see very often.
On this map, it's perfect to defend what I was talking about.
Yeah.
If you get dropped on your, like you're gonna keep your Phoenixes near your natural. He's only doing this because on this map, it's so hard to defend against drops. And I was gonna mention a game, I think it was in Cologne, where this one Protoss, he made 4 cannons in his natural.
Yeah.
He left 2 Templars, still lost his natural to medevac drops.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too surprised about that. It can definitely be difficult, but with a bunch of Phoenixes out, that's not gonna be an option. So as long as he holds his first push or 2, these first little pokes, he should be good. He's gonna get a really large Phoenix count out very, very quickly.
Yeah, he's coming easy on right now.
I think he's on 1 and he's about to have 2 more.
Yeah, so 3 quite quickly here. He has a nicely placed observer. I like the 2 cannons, by the way.
Yeah,
the
that's
first
really
Colossus,
nice.
though, needs to get there quicker. Oh my god, that's perfect for
He
him.
just needs to buy a little bit of time because this Colossus is going to come out now. 2 medevacs going into the main base.
Say hello to my little friend.
Well,
Colossus just came out.
little friend Colossus. He's not that little, really, but
Did you go range with this strat, or you just commit on 2 more Phoenixes? It's actually almost exactly the same price.
yeah, that's true. You know what? I say just get the Phoenixes. As we saw, in that last set from Deer, you don't need range to beat Terran. You just need a lot of them. And way better upgrades.
This is, I remember even in Wings of Liberty, this was used quite a lot. I remember on Shattered Temple, so many games. Colossus, Zealots, Phoenixes. Back then, the Terran didn't know you can actually target the Colossus with the Vikings, so it was pretty good.
Antigua Shipyard definitely had a few games with this composition as well. But you know, the problem is if your opponent gets 2 starports and just reactors out a lot of Vikings and kites you a ton before he actually engages with his main army, it's ridiculously hard to stop.
And also, keep in mind there are weaknesses to this strategy. For example, you're going to have a lot less upgrades. You're spending all your gas on Colossi and Phoenixes. So
well, a lot of times you skip Twilight for a while and get like 1-1, probably not other 1 as well. You don't normally get plasma shields with it, but you will get a Phoenix upgrade.
Some players, they do it and then they add a second forge when they have a third base, but that means they're never going to have Templars. And then when they have to face Ghosts, and those Phoenixes get EMP'd, the entire Zealot army gets EMP'd.
Yeah.
The Protoss army can die very, very quickly. So I feel like your timing with this army as a Protoss is in the mid-game.
Yeah, it's very powerful in the mid-game for sure.
If you let your opponent max out, double fleet beacon, okay, that just happens.
Well, that way he can get both the carrier intercept upgrade and the Indian pulse crystals at the same time.
It's crazy how you always say these things in like the most serious voice and face. Oh my, do you think he's not gonna realize? There is no way.
Oh yeah, this is
when
this
you
drop
go
is not
for
going to
this, you're committed, man. It's like the double Dark Shrine. You never cancel one.
Well, that way if they drop one, you still have the other. Once they kill it, you warp in a DT. They're like, that can't be a DT, and then it gets them. All right, so here we go. He's actually going to tag these, and this is such a good move. He actually tags all these medevacs. That means the Phoenixes can chase them down, perhaps. Yeah. Looks like they're not going to. He doesn't want to give away what he's doing.
Oh, he canceled the other one. After it was canned. The natural was canned, and the fleet beacon was spotted, and then he canceled it and made a Stargate in its place. Mind games, man.
Oh, wow.
Imagine.
Well, 3 Stargates now.
Yeah.
Does SOS think he's playing versus a Zerg?
It's just because of the map. It really is. He does not want to die to drops, but I'm a little bit surprised he's going to get this many Phoenixes. I would think he'd cut after a while.
Well, his opponent hasn't really countered it yet. We do have a good number of Vikings coming down, but he will fly over and kill off quite a few. Taking a lot of damage, though, on these Phoenixes. He's got to be careful about that.
He took out some Vikings, though. He lowered the Viking count to 5. He has 9 Phoenixes in total. 3 Colossi. He's getting a 4th one. Charge is going to start now. He's getting air weapons level 1, ground armor level 1. I really like the way he's played this. And with that hidden expansion, he's actually going to have a lot of gas to go into more upgrades, possibly Storm. By the way, I'm sorry, but this does not count as a Charge Lord Templar game. There are minimum of rules we need to go through.
Of course, of course. Well, he is going to go ahead and start harassing over here with these Phoenixes. Now, this makes me a little bit scared because Jjakji's continuing to walk across the map. So if Jjakji goes all the way down and engages when these Phoenixes aren't here, I don't know how he's going to hold.
So many walkers were killed, 12 in total. 81 probes to 63 SCVs now. But this Jjakji has more supply. He has way more army supply, actually. 122 to 94.
Well, it's very expensive to get upgrades and Phoenixes. Look at this. He's actually started +2 air attack. This is like really crazy what we're seeing from SOS. I've never seen anyone actually make this many Phoenixes.
And Charge might complete before this attack begins, but he actually has so much money. I think SOS is missing a lot of gateways.
Well, he is just about maxed out as well.
He has only 4 gateways.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
He's on 4 bases with
4 bases with 4 gateways.
88 probes and he has only 4 gateways.
This is an issue. He is not going to be able to get a big warp in. I don't know if this is going to work out. He's not going to be able to reinforce. He's going to chrono boost his 3 Stargates. That's how he's going to reinforce.
Oh, big MPs.
Wow. Well, at least he does have some cannons here. He has the Indian Pulse Crystals as well. Here we go. We do have Jjakji stimming in, and some Force Heals do go down. The Colossus doing some work, but 3 of them stuck behind, not really firing at the moment. We see the army supply of SOS beginning to plummet as well, but a nice time warp does go down, and it looks like he will hold.
Really cool time warp. Oh, he starts carriers.
Oh, what?
He cancels.
Wow,
He
my
remade
God.
them.
Oh
What is
my
going on?
God.
He canceled and then remade them. He was hesitating for a second. He's like, maybe I shouldn't go for carriers now. Maybe I'm just about to die.
He's looking at that and he's saying...
Yeah. Then he's like, hold on, I just reset the Viking count and I have 3 Colossi? Of course I'm gonna go carriers. How is this guy ever gonna be ready? What do you mean? He's safe for now. He can get carriers.
Yeah, I guess.
They're pretty sick, man.
Are
in
they?
Brood War.
In Brood War, they are awesome, but this is StarCraft 2, where Marines exist.
Okay. How well do you think carriers are gonna do if he gets just 6 of them before fighting again? He's actually getting a ton of cannons, which is smart. The cannon plus Tempest.
Look, if he goes
carriers.
Cannon, Carrier, Phoenix, Colossus, and this game is 2 hours long, I am gonna be so happy. This is a strategy that I need to learn.
We all knew the quick +3 attack upgrade on ground units with a lot of Stalkers. Now we are discovering the +3, very quick +3 attack upgrades. We have 19 minutes he started.
You know, one thing a lot of people don't know is that for DPS, damage per second, carriers actually have the highest in the game. So when you have +3 on them, it makes a gigantic difference. This is...
How do you picture the fight is going to go? Like if Jjakji maxes out and attacks again, which is what I'm expecting here, how does the fight go?
Well, he needs more cannons first off, and he needs to get all 6 of the carriers out because that's a ton of supply.
He's doing so much work with the Phoenixes. He's been the entire game, actually.
He is. He's being really cost efficient so far. But look, what he really needs as well with this is Psystorm. He cannot do this without Psystorm. Oh, there it is. And now it's time for him to add his gateways as well.
This is such a cool game we're seeing.
This is SOS for you. He makes strategies like this. He's one of the big innovators in all Protoss. And if you recall, in the Season 1 finals of WCS last year, in his final game of that finals, he went for a Tempest build against Terran, just mass Tempest on a very small map. Now, this is a huge map, and he's going carriers. Yeah.
Man, I don't even know what to think again. I'm really caught off guard by these games, these transitions.
I hope SOS wins this tournament. He deserves to win every tournament of $100,000 or more.
If he makes carriers work, he deserves to win everything. 6 carriers out right now. He's getting 2 more. He's going to have Storm completed before the next fight takes place. The army supply 109 for SOS, 133 for Jjakji. His army is quite scary, but does he have enough Vikings to deal with this air army? He has only 3 ghosts.
Only 3 ghosts. Well, Psystorm is about to finish, and he scans and sees carriers. What do you do?
91 probes, by the way. That means
Oh my
the army
God.
of SOS is going to be significantly smaller, but he has a lot of gateways now.
And he has the carriers, which are awesome. So we'll see how that goes.
Templar is going to be caught and killed here.
Well, it looks like he's just going to let that Nexus go down, and who really cares? He has
should.
already a pretty good bank. He can't get out of position with this.
You should never fight when 3 carriers are about to come out from the Stargates.
Yeah.
And also he has way too many probes. This is actually... Does Jjakji realize he's doing him a favor? No, I think he pulled back because he was afraid to be engaged.
Yeah. Well, he actually saves that base overall. But the Terran army moving down once again.
What the hell, SOS? Storm? He's so bad.
He's just scouting with the High Templar. It's fine. Well, he's adding 2 more starports here, Todd. So he's going to be able to pump out a lot of Vikings. In fact, his army is going to be so heavily Vikings that maybe SOS should switch into Immortals.
SOS is really cramped. He's going to get EMP'd here. Oh my God, he loses all the shield on his carriers.
Well, he does lose all those shields, but he is pushing forward, and these carriers are actually destroying the Vikings so quickly. Size storms all over the Bio army, and how many carriers will go down? Is this 0 carriers going down?
At least a few, I think 2 or 3.
Oh. No, it was just 1. It was just 1. But seriously, that was... Wow, these carriers did a lot during that battle. They killed things so ridiculously fast with that +3 attack. This is a hard game to commentate. I've never seen this before.
I'm really surprised he's not going for more armor upgrades, by the way. He has double cybernetic score in his main. He's at least getting the shield level 2 now. Man, SOS is... As much as I like Hero and he's been playing impressively, SOS he's my hero, no pun intended. Like right now, with what he's doing in this game.
I just figured out what SOS stands for. So sick.
You're very sick yourself.
Thanks.
So many starports, by the way, for Jjakji.
Yeah.
How many does he have? He's second. Six starports. 4 of them don't have add-ons.
He's making 6 ghosts at a time right now. He's getting his +3 attack.
Yeah, ship weapons level 3 is kind of late if you think of it, which is a funny thing to say.
Yeah, this is just so weird, this game, but I am loving it. Here's the thing that I'm afraid of, Todd. I'm afraid that these carriers are going to get out of position and just destroyed. Like, because if he just loses those, the game is going to end.
Yeah, I can tell it's happened to you many times.
I don't go carriers too often, but generally, yes, I try to eventually attack with them, and they're out of position, because if they aren't sitting over like cannons and High Templars, they're out of position, and then I lose.
Those bases on the top right-hand side, I feel like they are very important in this game.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Jjakji has put no effort into scouting anything. Those bases in the corners of the map. Carriers chasing medivacs. Yeah, good luck.
Well,
like
even...
Oh, what the? He's gonna get it.
Wow, that's some good range on those carriers. In the meantime, we do have this little drop over here. Single interceptor and a couple zealots going to clean that up, but dude, this is crazy. All right, we have to start theory crafting a lot here, Todd. As a Terran, how do you beat this composition?
If QXE was here, he would say in the most serious voice ever, and really happy to say it, battle cruisers and ravens. But
yeah,
now,
he would say that.
Yeah, I don't think that the economy of Jjakji is good enough to go for that, and also it kind of feels like there's never a time he could go for that where like he would catch up on the air units, you know? It would be very awkward for him. Like he would have some bio on the ground, he would have to restart his army from scratch to like get some, because as much as carriers plus Templars and some Archons completes each other, BCs and bio against carriers and Templars it just feels wrong. It's just wrong.
It does. I don't... I've never seen it, but I really want to right now. Because then we can get some Tempest in there, and of course you got to feedback the PDDs, and like just, I don't know, man.
And the nuke is being made right now.
Well, thank God. We need to get a nuke in there for sure. This game just wouldn't be right without nuclear missiles as well. Well, here we go. The Terran player coming down right now. Jjakji, he has a lot of ghosts. Look at all those ghosts in there coming in, hitting a lot of EMPs so far. The High Templars coming up. A couple of them still do have storms. He does get one storm down, and once again forcing Jjakji back. Look at the difference in supply.
SOS actually doubled the army supply during that fight. Jjakji restarting 8 Vikings immediately, and Observer is going to get picked off, which is nice because... Oh, never mind, there is another one. Those ghosts...
that ghost wants to do something so bad.
Yeah, he needs them in the fight, but Marines. He has a whole bunch of Marines in his composition, Jjakji. And he's fighting carriers and Templars.
Well, I mean, the
tough.
Marines should kill carriers, actually, pound for pound, but with High Templars and Colossus and Archons, no way, no how.
Is this? Do you think this is the ultimate Protoss army here?
I actually have no idea. I just don't know. I think that Supermass Vikings beat this, right? None of this is really that good of anti-air.
Yeah, the Archons and the Templars.
Yeah, that's what you have, but like, Vikings have greater range than those.
Yeah,
so.
you would need to hit perfect EMPs. Actually, without Storm, this could be a very different fight.
Yeah.
But you need way more Vikings for sure, you're right, because there is not only the carriers, but also the Colossi he has to take care of.
You know, I'm afraid because he doesn't have his Mothership Core here, so he can't get home. His Mothership Core is just kind of sitting randomly somewhere else, but he's going to come up, start killing some of these starports.
Jjakji's trying to max out before he has to fight, but look, even looking at the bank, SOS has such a huge bank behind this.
God, yeah, he really does. And his upgrades are good enough that he can actually switch into anything he wants after. Well, actually, no, he only has 2-1 on ground. I wouldn't mind seeing him finish that up.
Yeah, exactly my thought. So he's going for the fight.
Well, we got a good EMP flank right there, actually. A lot of EMPs coming down. Does he actually have enough here to kill off all of these Marines and Vikings? And it looks like, yes, he does once again. The carriers reign supreme. Well, this is it. Jjakji has nothing left.
He has to be in shock. He knows he's lost. And
time to make the Manor Nexuses. Oh my God. What in the world did we just see?
We saw carriers winning.
Mass carrier strategy. Apparently you can go carriers. This guy, look at him. See him right there? He changes this game more than almost anybody else on a regular basis. Over the past year, he has altered the course of StarCraft 2 like 3 times for Protoss.
True that he's altered the course of humanity as well.
It's
StarCraft 2 is life.
It is life. He's altering all of our lives with these games. Terran players on Altered Theme, you're going to be playing against that on the ladder this week.
Well, Protoss are going to try it. They're probably going to lose like...
Yeah, they're not going to have any idea. They're going to be like, oh, Jjakji was just bad. Nope, nope. SOS is just good. All right,
I kind of want to try it, but isn't it crazy that he made all of these carriers of just 3 Stargates?
Yeah.
It's like every transition was perfect. He gets to Phoenixes, he makes sure he cannot be dropped. I was actually wondering, what was he going to go for? That's why I thought, after the Oracle, he was actually going to go for Chargelot and Templar, because I thought it's easier if you do this to defend those medevac drops. And so you just leave some Templars, you leave some Zealots, cannons, you can reinforce. But SOS is like, no. There is not only 2 roads I can take. There's a 3rd one. Nobody saw.
And it's in the sky. Stairway to heaven. All right. Next map, Habitation Station. Todd, tell me that we can see carriers here again.
It's a lot less likely.
Oh,
it's close by.
You could harass the gold base very easily with carriers, couldn't you?
If you're so
throw
silly.
me a bone here, come on.
Yes, you could. You could get in, especially with range.
Sick. So Todd thinks we're going to see carriers here.
He stands at the watchtower with mass cannons and Templars.
And push forward with carriers.
And Tempests.
They have insane range, right? Well, this was a wild one.
SOS 2-0.
2-0. They said it was going to be one-sided. They also said it might be Chargelot Archon. It's definitely not that, though. It's definitely carriers.
Nobody would have thought, except SOS. Oh, this definitely has to be one of the things where going into this match, he knew he wasn't going to remove Altersim, and he knew he was going to do that build as well.
Oh, for sure. He didn't just think that up on the fly. He's not like, do I make carriers? Yeah, I make carriers now. That's probably a good unit, right? I've never made this unit before. What is this? Let me get some of them. All right, well, it's 2-0. Let's go ahead and introduce our players in the top left. He needs to win 3-0 from here. Make some noise for MYI Jjakji. And in the top right, showing utter brilliance and creativity, make some noise for SOS.
My Insanity is a really cool team.
Yeah, it is.
You know, they have a team house in Switzerland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to visit someday.
You should. Everything's really close here, right?
Yes, Artos is Europe. It's just like one small country.
Yeah. Korea too. That's where I live.
Jjakji went for standard depots rampage. I'm not going to go for any kind of command center first. I think, yeah, okay. He goes for the standard barracks. 13 gateway by SOS. Not going to go for any kind of 10. I really feel like SOS, like, he's so comfortable going into matches that he likes to do different builds from one map to another. Like, he makes it a point to do it. You will never see him go into his... I remember, it was, I think, before BlizzCon where they made these amazing previews. And they actually, somebody rewatched all of the VODs of SOS and he pulled statistics from it. It's like, this guy actually never made twice the same build and strategy in one series. Isn't that sick?
That is actually really sick. That's insane. When you're playing best of 3s, best of 5s, best of 7s, to not use the same strategy twice, that's like unheard of.
Or like as far
Think
as,
of how many strategies you use in a day. Yeah, but in a day, how many different openers do you use in a matchup, Todd? One. No, exactly. I do the exact same thing. I use like one build. If there's really different maps, I'll get 2 builds for a matchup for that day. But SOS mixing in so much.
SOS getting cheeky here with a little probe at the gold base. He already has 2 pylons in his base. This is probably going to be for a third one. And Stargate, I would guess. Hey, the Phoenixes are coming, man. And the gold base too.
Oh my god.
Artos is the prophet.
Well, maybe he can start with an Oracle. You know, a little bit more normal, right?
Yeah.
Maybe get some Phoenixes for anti-drop.
And then he always has the Oracle for Revelation and seeing the army positioning.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? The thing is that airspace is important. So we'll see, maybe.
Oh, Jjakji is headed there. He's going to spot it.
Well, will he go all the way
Make a
up?
Nexus quick so that he doesn't go to the back.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not good news,
You think that's
is
a
it?
cancel?
I've seen people... No, he's got a Mothership Core. He makes a second pylon. I like that a lot more, because now the Reaper is like not bugging you. You send your Mothership Core, yeah, you lose a pylon, but you can't cancel that. You're going to be so far behind if you can't use this starport at least once.
Yeah, but if you open a nose, I always feel like it's that much worse to be stubborn and go into something, but we've already...
You have to stay the course, Todd.
Yes.
A captain always goes down with his ship. And if that Stargate's going to go down, so is SOS. You could learn some things from this guy.
Yes, I could. And again, Jjakji seems to want to be going for the same kind of 2 barracks play, or maybe do you think he was forced to stay on 2 barracks because he had to get that quick engineering bay just in case?
Yeah.
That's also possible.
Yeah, I think that might be more likely, but we've seen the plus
panicking
one of 2.
That bunker, that's panic. Could have just left the Marines.
You know what he could be thinking, and by the way, that's a Nexus at the gold. He could be thinking this is some sort of crazy Void Ray build or something, because SOS is that crazy. But here we go. That Oracle does, in fact, fly in. Nothing down here at the natural. But this should be able to keep Jjakji busy for a while he... Well, and he is making a Void Ray behind it, by the way. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
What a fantastic game.
When playing Tantus to Sporos, you already have to feel like a little bit paranoid, but playing against SOS is like...
I can't even
full
imagine.
spider scare state.
Yeah.
You think he throws down a bunch of gates? Yeah, he has to. He's taking the gold. He's gonna have so much money.
Yeah.
He transfers like 10 probes to the gold, gets like 5 additional gateways, so 6 in total, and goes for a big bust. And he's gonna have the Oracle for revealing potential Widow Mines.
And Void Rays kill bunkers. It's pretty sick.
The turrets kill Void Rays though.
But Void Rays also kill turrets.
Oh.
Well, if you have enough of them.
I just can't win with you, can I?
No, you can't. I do this for a living. All right, so let's see here. He is just rallying out quite a few Marines at the moment, and more Void Rays being produced. Factory being added on.
Oh wow, this is actually. I really feel like if Jjakji does not see this coming and he's not ready, he doesn't have like 2 or 3 bunkers or 5, plus like 3 turrets, he's gonna die. And
Oh yeah, I have to completely agree with you.
Oh, he's trying to scout. He sent an SCV in those open spaces.
Now it's
some gateways.
man.
You think he scans the main, or this is enough for him to know that he needs to be on full alert?
He should know that the gold is taken. What else could it be?
He knows that there is the goal, I'm pretty sure, but does he know that there is some kind of big push headed his way?
Well, if you take the gold, I think at all, you have to hit some sort of little timing attack. Even if it's not all in, you have to make a bunch of units and move out with it, because otherwise, why did you take the gold base?
To have more money.
Well, there's not actually more minerals there, that you just mine them faster, which means you get your units out quicker.
Yeah, but you have more money.
Well, I mean, you have more money if you take your natural as well, right?
But not as fast.
Yes. But what do you do with money fast?
Very good point. That's why I said from the start that I really thought this was going to be a push, and hope Jjakji is going to be able to spot it, but he might be caught out of position. There is not enough units, I think, to fight this. Maybe with the Time Warp, he thinks there is enough, and there is. Because Jjakji has to go back. And by the way, Steam Pack was about to complete.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to complete in a few seconds.
He has 3 bunkers right now. He started a turret. Is this a ramp that can be broken with this army?
There's not actually that many gateway units yet.
No, not so many.
What's the
He's
army
got
supply?
6 gates at the moment.
39 army supply to 27. He's 3 bunkers sent off. I'm actually surprised he doesn't get more turrets.
Well,
That
here we
was not
go.
even shooting.
He does take down the first bunker in a matter of seconds. The second bunker being targeted, staying out of range of this missile turret as well. Going after the third bunker now. A Time Warp does go down, and he kills it off. This is absolutely crazy by SOS, pushing up the ramp at this point. So few units left for Jjakji, sending all of his SCVs down now, but this Oracle is dealing a huge amount of damage as well. What in the world? SOS bringing just such different strategies here today. Taking out this natural, Jjakji at less than half his supply. This is not something you come back from, obviously.
Jjakji, again, he's going to be out of the tournament here. He's gonna take some time for him to accept that. And SOS, man, he's so good.
He is so ridiculously good. Has to be one of the favorites of this tournament after watching this series. No doubt about it, he has been playing fantastically. And GG, SOS takes out Jjakji 3-0 with 3 completely different and wild strats.
It's kind of funny if you think about it. Hero, he won against a Zerg, he won against a Protoss, and he has to face a Terran next. SOS beat a Protoss, he beat a Terran, and he might have to face a Zerg next.
That's
It's
true.
either going to be a Zerg or a Terran.
Guys, give it up for SOS. Well, an amazing series indeed. Even though it was like really one-sided in 3-0, one of my favorites of the day.
If Teja has to play SOS, how do you think he goes into the match? On Altered Day.
Scared, fearful, panicky. That's how he goes into the match. There's just no way to kill this guy, Todd. He's just too good.
And as much as Heroes wins were impressive as well, it was 3-2 and then 3-1. SOS 3-1 and 3-0.
He's getting better and better,
man.
The next match is probably going to be 4-0. Well, let's go ahead, throw it up to the main stage, and see what the genius himself has to say.
With the world champion, SOS, congratulations, 3-0 against Jjakji. Firstly, did you imagine that you would be able to play such an accomplished Terran player and win so straightforwardly?
jakji 선수에게 그냥 그렇게 3대0 이길 자신 있었는지 3대0 이길
많은 사람들이 제가 테란전이 많이 약하다고 생각해요. 다른 종족전에 비해서. 저도 근데 그렇게 생각하고 있지만 그래도 클래스가 있기 때문에 이길 수 있었던 것 같아요.
So a lot of people think that his Terran matchup is not the strongest compared to his other matchups, but he thinks the same, that his Terran is not the best, but man, he still has a skill level, he still has class, and that's why he won.
If he doesn't think his PVT's that good and it was that scary, what are his other matchups like?
jakji 선수 잘하는 선수인데 테란전에 그렇게 좀 부족한 거 있다고 했는데 그러면 터스전랑 zerg전 얼마나 잘하는지.
제가 개인적으로 저그전이 제일 자신 있고요. 그 다음에 프로토스전, 저그전 같은 경우에는 누굴 만나도 절대 위축되지 않는 점이 있는 것 같아요.
So he thinks that his Zerg matchup is the strongest, and he thinks that he can't lose against any Zerg.
Wow, okay. because it could be that he ends up playing a Zerg in the next game against Life if he wins against Tasia. Three maps, three very different builds, but let's talk about map 2. You are very innovative when it comes to builds. We know that and we love that about you. Map 2 carriers. Talk us through your mindset. How did you come up with that kind of build?
두 번째 박 전략위에서 왜 캐리어 왜 뽑았는지 그냥 무슨 생각으로?
제가 테란전 같은 경우에는 조금 다른 전에 비해서 딸리다 보니까 연구를 좀 많이 하는 편인데 준비해둔 빌드였어요. 그런데 상황도 상황이고 다 맞아 떨어져서 쓰게 됐던 것 같아요.
So, because Terran Manager is not the best, he tries to do things a bit different. But actually, this build with the carriers was he prepared it, and the situation came up where that he could use this build, and that's why he used it.
Okay, how do you come up with so many innovative builds all the time? Is it just practice all the time, or do you look at other players? How do you come up with them?
너 지금 게임 할 때 그 전략 같은 생각하는지 누가 도와주는지 아니면 혼자 연습하면서 만드는 건지?
혼자 연습하면서 맵에 따라서 맞게 빌드를 정하는 것 같아요.
He trains a lot. No one helps him. It's more about that he's just checking the maps and just practice for himself which builds actually fits the best.
Okay, very straightforward. Final question. Your last matchup, the last matchup of the quarterfinal is Tasia and Life. Which one do you want, knowing full well that I like the way you say about PVZ? Presumably you would like to play Life.
지금 8강 다른 8강에서 테이저나 라이프 남았는데 누구랑 만나고 싶은지?
제가 8강에서 테란전을 했기 때문에 4강에서는 적의 인승현 선수랑 하고 싶어요. 라이프 선수.
So in round of 8 he played against Terran and Jjakji. So in the semi-final he would like to play against Zerg. So it should be Life.
All right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please, for SOS. The current reigning world champion from BlizzCon has another shot at yet another $100,000. He's still going. Over to you guys.
All right, thank you, Red Eye. Predictably, 3 games of Charge Lot Archon Storm for the win, and SOS is so good that even Todd got that prediction correct.
We all did. We all moved forward one. I liked his style though. In the different games. I'm happy that he did do something different.
What was his style? He did 3 very different things.
Yes. Unpredictability.
So his style is just being him, then, is what you're saying?
His unpredictability style.
That was crazy. Carriers, the whole time. I was...
doubting.
I'm not going to lie. I was over here wrong 7, 8, 9 times in a row where Apollo's like, mate, this is going to work. It's so good. Such a great build. And I'm like, no, carriers suck. This is dead. And then everything disappeared every time.
I like the Phoenix opener though, just in general, especially on that map. You can just take control of it completely. Even if he finds the base up to the top, you can be over there kind of quick. But I like Phoenix. I will admit, they're my favorite unit. So
that was the scariest part of that build. And I feel like Jjakji missed an opportunity. He scans. He goes, okay, 5 Colossus, about 7 cannons. He does have Storm. You know what? I'm going to attack anyways. And then he jumps in there and just gets flattened. And I felt like that was his opportunity to scan and be like, whoa, I can't do anything about this. Pick up, go back, check the map for expansions, maybe mass drop his way to trading for more Ghosts, more Vikings, that kind of thing. Excellent. Excellent comment. You don't say. All right, gentlemen. Well, this is the expert desk, I guess, not the conversation desk. Apollo, I do appreciate that. So, gentlemen, do you have any more thoughts about Jjakji? Do you want to send him off with a couple of nice words or something, Apollo?
See you in WCS.
Yeah, we'll see you in WCS Europe, I guess. Nice stuff.
All right. Well done, gentlemen. This has been great, which brings up our next match. What do we have coming up?
We have a very good game. It's going to be Tasia versus Life. I saved you there.
No, you stalled until you remembered what it was, too. We have a very good game. It is going... All right. Tasia Life. Let's talk a little bit about this before we do... Nah, they're ready to go. Let's talk about them after we have a little bit of footage of them. Paul, if you could ask these players to walk out on stage, please.
Yeah, not quite yet. We're not ready for the players just yet, but we're going to have a very quick break. Before we go to the break, though, everyone here, I want to try and do something a little bit special over Twitter. So take out your phones, everyone. Have you got your phones? Take your phones out, get your cameras ready. Okay, and then after 3, I'm going to count, and we're going to take a photograph of the stage, and I'm going to take a photograph of you taking a photograph of us, all right? And then you're going to tweet it, and you're going to say, this is how we IEM. Okay, are you ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now go and tweet it. This is how we hash IEM. This crowd are crazy. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Honestly, they're so good here. We are going to take a very quick break now, but when we come back, the final quarterfinal, ladies and gentlemen, it's Tasia in the house against the last remaining Zerg, fighting for his life.